Thousands of years of history have one thing in common. No ruler, no emperor, no king, and no president escaped death. Some died peacefully after decades of power. Others were betrayed by their closest friends, murdered by assassins, executed by their enemies, or destroyed by the very empires they built. In this video, you'll discover how history's most powerful leaders really died. From Ramesses II and Alexander the Great to Napoleon, Hitler, John F. Kennedy, and Queen Elizabeth II. But some of the most shocking deaths come much later. So stay until the very end. Alexander the Great conquered the largest empire the world had ever seen before turning 33. Yet after surviving countless battles, his greatest enemy may not have been an army at all. The assassination of Julius Caesar changed world history forever. Without his death, the Roman Empire, and perhaps Western civilization itself, might have taken a completely different path. Leaders like Attila the Hun and Charlemagne shaped the future of Europe in completely different ways. One through fear, the other through unity. Their legacies still influence the continent more than 1,000 years later. Few names inspire as much fascination as Genghis Khan. His empire stretched across continents, and even today, millions of people can trace their ancestry back to his bloodline. Richard the Lionheart became the legendary warrior king of the Crusades, admired for his courage even by his enemies. But history was about to witness an empire unlike anything the world had ever seen. Genghis Khan would unite the Mongol tribes and unleash a conquest that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the gates of Europe, forever changing the course of world history. Joan of Arc was only 19 years old when she died, yet she became one of the most influential women in history. Her courage transformed France, and her story still inspires millions today. Vlad III, better known as Dracula, became infamous for impaling thousands of his enemies. Centuries later, his terrifying reputation inspired Bram Stoker's legendary vampire and transformed a ruthless prince into one of history's most enduring myths. The Tudor dynasty changed England forever. Henry VIII broke with Rome, while Elizabeth I turned England into a rising world power whose influence would eventually reach every continent. Ivan the Terrible ruled Russia through fear and absolute power. At the very same time, Elizabeth I transformed England into a rising naval superpower, proving that two rulers could shape Europe in completely different ways. Louis XIV, the legendary Sun King, made France the center of Europe. But it was Peter the Great who dragged Russia into the modern age, forever changing the balance of power across the continent. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered much of Europe and rewrote the rules of warfare. But after years of victory, one final defeat changed not only his fate, but the future of an entire continent. The assassination of Abraham Lincoln came just days after the American Civil War ended. His death turned him from a president into one of the greatest symbols of freedom in history. Queen Victoria ruled over the largest empire of her age, while Empress Dowager Cixi struggled to preserve China's fading imperial order. Together, they represented two worlds approaching the end of an era. The execution of Tsar Nicholas II ended 3 centuries of Romanov rule. From the collapse emerged Vladimir Lenin, whose revolution created the Soviet Union and reshaped the 20th century. Mahatma Gandhi proved that a nation could be changed without an army. Through peaceful resistance, he led India to independence and inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela for generations to come. Few leaders shaped the 20th century more than Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin. Their decisions led to unimaginable suffering and permanently changed the political map of the modern world. More than 60 years later, the assassination of John F. Kennedy remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Countless investigations have followed, yet questions still remain. Yitzhak Rabin was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for pursuing peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Tragically, his life was cut short by an assassin's bullet from one of his own countrymen. Like her father before her, Indira Gandhi helped shape modern India. Her assassination shocked a nation of hundreds of millions and changed Indian politics for generations. Yasser Arafat became the international face of the Palestinian cause and shared the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts toward peace. Yet even after his death, the true circumstances surrounding it continue to be debated around the world. The violent deaths of Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi marked the end of 2 of the Middle East's longest-running regimes. Yet their fall also opened new chapters of uncertainty that continue to shape the region today.